Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth, and today is Wednesday, May the 25th, and it is, as always, What Are You Reading Wednesday? So let's get started. So since I am in the middle of Middle Grade May Reads Readathon this week, I'm not going to be giving you a huge amount of information on what I'm reading right now. I am reading Dandelion Fire by N.D. Wilson and Deep Wizarding by Diane Duane. Today and tomorrow, hopefully, I will have finished one or both and be moving on to something else for the readathon. However, since I am doing a whole lot of vlogging and I'll be doing updates on Twitter and a readathon wrap up and all of that jazz, I thought I would instead give you guys some mini reviews on the books my daughter and I have been reading this week. So if you have read any of these, or if you are participating in the readathon or whatever else you're doing this week, please leave me comments down below and let's get into the books now. So first I have for us Moon Flute. This is written by Audrey Wood and illustrated by Dawn Wood. Originally published in 1980, the illustrator and author are a married couple, and this is the redesigned version that was re-released in the late 80s, like 89 or 90, I believe. This is the story of a young girl who thinks that the full moon has stolen her sleep because she cannot get to sleep, and so she asks the moon how to get her sleep back, and she goes on a magical adventure with a flute made out of moonbeams that allows her to travel the globe. But when she goes home, she falls asleep with the flute in her hand, and when she wakes up in the morning, the flute is no longer there, so she cannot use it anymore. The illustrations that I just showed you are done on oil and then were scanned in. They are, let me read the little deal. They were done in oil on pressed board, and then the text was set, and the display type was hand lettered, and then they, uh, did the scanning printing process that happens to get the illustrations in the books. These illustrations were actually displayed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art for several years. So that is a very cute story. We gave it a 4 stars. It is an upper picture book, so an older picture book. It's for probably kindergarten, first, second grade, but my daughter really likes to sit and be read to, so it was perfect for her. Even though she's 3, she understood it, she loved the pictures, and she loved the storyline. Okay, next we have I Wish I Had ... which was published by Erdman's Books for Young Readers in 2010. This was written by Giovanna Zabali and illustrated by Simona Ulizzani, and it is just a really cute book that says, I wish I had something from each animal that is illustrated. So we actually looked and looked in the book for the giraffe and couldn't find it. And then we realized that the giraffe's page is on the back in place of a summary. So basically, it's I wish I had ... the towering neck of a giraffe to reach up into the clouds. I wish I had the eyes of a blackbird to see every blade of grass growing in the meadow, and the feather-light steps of tigers as they explore, the voice of a whale singing as it crosses the ocean. So here is the whale, which is my favorite illustration in the book. And we really enjoyed this book as well. We gave it a 4 stars. It was fun. It didn't give us really any information that we didn't already know about the animals, but it did kind of focus in on one aspect of the animal's makeup. So the long neck helps them reach up to the tops of the trees. They tower in the clouds. The light steps of the tiger, which helps them hunt, but it brought it down to its simplest form. I wish I could step lightly like a tiger or see well like a crow. So we did enjoy that, but it was very simplistic, even for my daughter, who is very scientifically minded. She wanted to know more, but it is very fun, and the illustrations are gorgeous. Next, I have Night Animals by Gianna Marino. This was published in 2015 by Viking, which is an imprint of Penguin Young Readers. And Gianna Marino is the illustrator and author. It's a very, very simple book. We really liked the eyeballs and the end pages. My daughter likes to look at end pages with me. That's my fault, but I love it. And basically, this is just the story of Possum and Skunk, and they're hiding from night animals, and then it progresses to where a wolf shows up and he's scared because he's trying to hide from the bigger night animals. And then Bear follows him and is scared because of the sounds in the forest, that things sound like they're bigger than everybody. And then all of a sudden a bat shows up and he says, "What are you so scared of? You are the night animals." And then they say, "Oh." So it's really adorable. It is very simplistic, and Elena was laughing the entire time because that's not how bears act, that's not how possums act, that's not, but it was different enough and funny enough that she giggled. And at the end, she said, "Oh, Mama, maybe I shouldn't be scared of the dark because we don't have any of them in our house." So, cha-ching, that's a great book. We gave it about a 4.5 stars. Next, I have Mr. Ferris and His Will. This was published in 2014 by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, and it was written by Catherine Gibbs Davis and illustrated by Gilbert Ford. So, Mr. Ferris and His Will is actually more of a kind of mid-elementary level picture book. What I mean by that is it has gorgeous illustrations, but it is also a factual kind of nonfiction narrative. So, we have the narrative and these gorgeous pictures, but we also have facts. So while he's going through, most of this is just facts that have been turned into a narrative, a story for the kids. And then if they need more information, there are little boxes of information to the side that tell you more facts or interesting additions to the storyline. And this is literally about Mr. Ferris, George Ferris, who created and designed the Ferris wheel. He actually originally entitled it the Monster Wheel, and then they started calling it Ferris wheel after him. But what happened was, for the 1893 World Fair, the people in Chicago had judges that were set up to take ideas for what to build to make this World Fair better than the last, because the previous World Fair had been held in Paris, and that's where we get the Eiffel Tower. That was the crowning achievement of that World's Fair. And so they needed something that would be different and better. So they held this big contest, and most people were just sending in ideas that were basically the Eiffel Tower, but a slightly different shape and a few feet taller or 100 feet taller or whatever. And the judges did not want something that was going to just be a copy of what Paris did. So they decided to finally go with George's idea, and I'm not going to give you all the details of how he came up with it or anything like that, because I definitely suggest that you should pick this up and read it, even as an adult without any kids around. See if you can't just go to the children's section and find this picture book and look it over while you're at your library next time. It is super interesting, and we gave this a 5 star. Not only did we give it a 5 star, but my 3-year-old said, "Oh, Mama, my no-nos," which is my mother's best friend who is a third grade teacher, "needs to tell her kids about this." So then we took this book to church the following Sunday, this past Sunday, and showed no-nos because Monkey thought that her kids really needed to know about this because this guy was really cool. So if your kid is trying to get teachers to talk about it in class, even if it's a little kid like mine, you know that that book is worth something, and you can make presentations. Your kids can make really cool presentations over this. It would be great. So definitely check that book out. Finally, we have Lulu and the Brontosaurus. by Judith Viorst and illustrated by Lane Smith. I believe I've talked about this before. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, but this is a children's chapter book. And we usually try to pick up one or two of these every time we go to the library because Elena likes for me to read her those stories, but she's not quite old enough to sit through chapters of some of the classic children's books. So we get these beginning chapter books. And this is the story of Lulu, who is, I don't remember if she's 5 or if she's 6, but she's getting ready to have her birthday. And she announces to her mom and dad a couple of weeks before her birthday that she wants a brontosaurus. And in this world, you can have a brontosaurus. You know, there's dinosaurs. And she tells her mom and dad she wants brontosaurus for her birthday. And she's not used to being told no. But this time they tell her no. So she throws her fit and she kicks her feet and she screams till all the light bulbs break, which normally makes them say yes and they'll do whatever it is that she wants them to do. But they held firm. And so a couple of days before her birthday, she packs her suitcase, she walks out of the house, and she walks into the forest. She's going to find a brontosaurus for a pet. So she is singing a song throughout the book, and I'm not going to sing it for you, but the words are, I'm gonna get a brontosaurus for a pet. So A, it's pretty catchy, and B, she is just insistent that she's going to have a brontosaurus. When she finds one, the brontosaurus actually wants to keep her as a pet. And they kind of come to the agreement that neither one of them can keep the other as a pet, but they can be friends. So the brontosaurus comes home and has cake with her and scares her parents, you know, all over the place. But then the brontosaurus is very lonely, and so he is invited back for Thanksgiving. And there are 3 different endings in this book, and Elena's favorite is number 3. And I'm kind of iffy between 2 and 3. I think 2 worked just fine, but 3 added a little more information I'm not sure I needed, but I enjoyed having. So I'm kind of balanced between those two. She is most definitely a fan of number 3. I believe we gave this book a 5-star as well. So that is definitely a good one to read to beginning readers or with beginning readers, or if they are like my child and just are at the stage where they're starting to pick out letters and uh, like pretending that they know how to read and like picking out words that they've seen you read enough that they know the context of what it should be, then that is definitely something that you should pick up for them. And it has some really nifty illustrations. So that's always a plus as well. And that was the last one I'm going to talk to you about. I think this video is more than long enough for you now. So I will see you guys again soon. Please don't forget to leave me a comment, give me a big thumbs up if you like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you're new, do all that jazz, and I'll see you again soon. Have a happy week. Bye.